Hey buddies, Miss Puggy here coming at you in another Borderlands 3 video. Today I'm going to be showing you the black market machine location, and there's actually a really good trick to get to the black market machine a lot quicker than you'd think. It allows us to get to the black market machine like about 3 minutes quicker, so I'm definitely very excited to show you that. And of course, after I show you the location, I'm going to showcase each and every single weapon, show you what they can do in Sanctuary. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps me out, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
So first things first, the location of the black market machine is actually going to be on Dec 23rd today. Now Dec 23rd is a pretty small area. There's only 3 places to really go, but we're going to be going to the Pyres of Stars. Now the Pyres of Stars is a pretty big map, honestly, and unfortunately, the location of the black market machine is right here. And that means that you're gonna have to walk all the way around unless you have a certain item. There's actually 3 items that allows you to get to this location a lot quicker. So instead of walking all the way around, we're actually gonna go right here, and then we're gonna get here by doing a little bit of a skip. So let's do that real quick. There's only one place you can really spawn in. It's going to be right here. So as soon as you spawn in, you're gonna head immediately forward. So I'm gonna show you the location of where we need to go for the skip. So I'm just gonna get into Iron Bear and go a little bit quicker because Iron Bear is a little bit fast. It's going to be to our immediate right after we bypass this siren statue. And I already cleared out all the guardians, so we don't have to worry about it. But pretty much where we're going is right up there. So I'm going to skip to myself actually being up there in a few moments. So after you jump up here, you'll notice that the actual area to get up there is pretty hard to get to, but we have this nice little chest to actually jump on, which allows ourselves to actually get up a little bit higher. So what you're going to want to need to get is a low-level Nagata, or even you can use a low-level Ruby's Wrath or a Plumage. But pretty much if you have any of those, I like to use the Nagata personally because I like the feeling of this grenade jump a lot better. So pretty much what you want to do is our location is going to be directly behind us. So instead of pointing to where we want to go, we want to position our back to the location we want to go. We want to look all the way down to our feet. We're going to jump, and the timing is pretty hard. We're going to go to the peak of our jump, throw our grenade, and then look immediately back and try to spam space or whatever your jump button is to get over there. So I'm going to try here. And just like that, we got all the way to the top. Now that did take me a couple of tries, but the trick I did at the very end there is actually go to the very edge of the chest. So right there, I did it once again at the very edge of the chest. That time I had the chest open, so it doesn't matter whether or not you have the chest open or not. It is a pretty tricky jump. It did honestly take me a couple of tries, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty nice way to actually cut the time that you use to actually get to the chest, and you're just gonna keep moving forward. And the actual black market machine isn't too far away. Now we're just gonna keep moving forward. There really isn't any place to go besides forward, so we're gonna keep going forward. It is a bit of a 20-second walk, so we'll be there very shortly, but I hope that grenade jump, or even if you have the plumage, the rocket jump trick does help you at all getting to this area quicker, because it is a pretty nifty trick to use. It honestly was pretty tricky. I got it first try the first time I did it, but that time I had to do like 12 times to get it. But now they're actually at the black market machine. I'm going to show the location of it one more time. It's right here. We're going to zoom out on the map all the way. And the items inside the black market machine are going to be Light Show, which is a phenomenal pistol, especially on Moze. I'll show you why very shortly. We can go to Sanctuary. Then we have the long musket. Honestly, I tried my best to deal decent damage with it, but it just doesn't really deal decent damage. It's a TDR and it walks around doing flamethrower stuff, so I thought perhaps it'd be better at mobbing, but it's not really good at mobbing either. And then the Gatling Gun, which is a mediocre to Jacobs. It's pretty decent, but it's definitely outlived its fame because I remember it being pretty decent early meta for Borderlands, but it's not really that great of a gun. The only thing that's really worth getting is the Light Show. Now let's head over to Sanctuary so we can actually test out the weapons. First weapon I want to talk about is the Gatling Gun. Now the Gatling Gun is a Jacobs that can only spawn in non-elemental. You don't have to worry about farming a specific type. The max damage of the Gatling Gun is going to be 20k, so the max damage is right there in case you're interested. Now it's pretty much a Jacobs gun that you can hold down the button to fire, which is pretty uncommon for Jacobs. While you fire it, it is going to go faster, as I'll show you right now. As I'm shooting it, you'll notice I shoot quicker and quicker. It gets actually pretty decently fast, It's almost like a Shreddifier in Jacob's form, and since it's a Jacob's, all the bullets can ricochet off crits and head to other enemies, so it's pretty nice, honestly, for a Hustler build with Zane if you're interested in that, or maybe even Flak. But the damage on it is pretty mediocre. You could definitely deal a lot more damage with other guns than this gun. You could definitely like speed kill Grave Ward decently fast with it, but otherwise the damage isn't too great. Definitely if you're a Flak main, pick it up. Or maybe even Zane, pick it up just for have fun with it. Besides shooting really quickly and having the ricocheting effect, it doesn't really do much, honestly. And then we move on to the Long Musket. Now the Long Musket is a flamethrower TDR gun that can spawn in only fire element. Its max damage is going to be 6.5k. It can spawn with splash anointments, which makes me believe that the flamethrower can actually deal splash damage, but I'm actually going to test that in a few moments just so we can confirm that, because I like doing stuff like that. But pretty much as we shoot it, the flamethrower that it shoots is going to get bigger and bigger. So I'm going to shoot the Jack clones from this distance, and as we shoot it, you'll notice that it gets bigger, but the distance, despite that, isn't very far. We actually still have to get pretty close to the enemy, which is, you know, it's a flamethrower, so what do you expect? But the extra distance is pretty nice, so I'm going to first hit Jack right here, and then we can move back a little and see that the range does in fact increase, which is definitely nice. And I downed myself with the Inferno Wish by accident. Besides that, since it's a TDR, we can throw the turrets around. The turrets will then in fact shoot the flamethrower at them, but the TDR, ever since I don't know if it was better without the TDR nerf, but ever since we got the TDR nerf, all TDR weapons aren't really that great, and this one included is not great. The fire damage it does as it shoots and walks around is not good at all. It definitely is really cool to look at, and another downside is when you're shooting it, you can barely see your target, so it's very hard to see when this gun is being shot. So not only does it deal not a lot of damage, the turrets don't deal a lot of damage. You can barely see when you're doing it. So it's not really a good gun. Unfortunately, I tried my best to make it deal decent damage. And cool thing you'll see right there is that the reload explosion, like the actual hit, is going to only deal single-digit damage, but since we have some scaling, it's dealing 12 damage. So the explosion itself doesn't deal a lot of damage, but the flamethrowers coming out of the turrets do deal better damage than 12. So if you're trying to go for like a TDR reload, big bam, trying to deal lots of damage, throw it at the enemy, you would waste all your time. So you got to make sure to throw it at the floor because otherwise it's going to be wasted. So right now I don't have anything that increases my splash damage besides skill points, so we have very bare bones. So we're going to see if this actually does deal splash damage. So right there it did about 60k. Now let's equip an artifact that increases our splash damage like that. That just increases our splash damage, so we can get a bare bones example of this. So we were doing 60k before. Now we're doing 65k. Okay, so it's confirmed it deals splash damage. So just in case you want to use this gun, you didn't want to optimize it, it deals splash damage. Go ham for it. And finally, but not least, we have the Light Show. Now the Light Show is a very good pistol. It's one of my favorites, honestly. If you ever ask me what are my favorite guns to use as Moze, the Light Show is always one of the items I list because it's so good. So the Light Show spawn in every single element, even kinetics, so non-elemental as well. Most Light Shows are going to be elemental because each element can spawn with a 14.7% chance of dropping for each single element. But if you want a non-elemental, it's going to be a 26.5%. Now the max damage on the Light Show is actually 28k with all the elements except for cryo. With cryo, it is going to be 30k, but personally, I like to go for fire, so fire is 28k max damage. Now, the Light Show deals lots and lots of damage, and it shoots 4 bullets per shot. Let me unequip the Inferno Wish so we can see it better. So it's going to shoot 4 bullets per shot, but each time you shoot it, it's only going to consume 1 ammo, which is really, really good because with Moze, you have lots of ammo regen. So as you're shooting it, you're going to get means of destruction proccing with short fuse. You're going to get redistribution to get your ammo back. So you're going to be able to shoot it for a very long time, which is very, very awesome. And it's just a really good gun. It deals tons of damage. As you see right here, we're dealing like occasional million damage, maybe even like oftentimes it's like 700k, 900k there, like lots of damage. And with crit, we're easily dealing 2 million. So it's really, really good damage. And it's fantastic at proccing short fuse because each bullet has a chance of proccing short fuse, and that in turn can also hit crit spots with the multiple projectiles. So your Minesweeper spawns lots of grenades. It's just an all-around really good weapon. It's one of my favorite. Really, really good with consecutive hits. Arguably, you could use better anointments than consecutive hits, but it builds consecutive hits really quickly if you want to go for that. It cannot spawn with any splash anointments. It doesn't deal splash damage, so don't worry about that. And it's honestly a pretty easy farm if you didn't get a chance of grabbing it for this black market machine. It's going to be from named enemy named the Lasso Draktil. I think that's how you say it, the Lasso Draktil in DLC 3. But keep in mind, since this is a DLC 3 gun, if you do not have DLC 3, even if you buy this in the black market machine, you're not going to be able to use it. Make sure you have the DLC 3 Bounty of Blood before you actually get this, because it would really suck if you spent $30 million on this gun and then you could not buy it. It's really unfortunate. And if you're having money problems, I actually have a tip that allows you to hit money cap in just 3 minutes. Click on top right for that. But now let's go over to Grave Ward and speed kill Grave Ward real quick just to show you the power of this gun. As in tradition, we're going to use the same setup as normal. We're going to enter exit Iron Bear, shoot some debuff missiles at the target. Then we're going to throw a contact grenade below us so we get elemental projector procs, and we're just going to melt Grave Ward real quick. Bam, right like that. This gun is so good, guys. I loved how fast we killed them. We didn't even give Minesweeper a chance to proc at all. That was the quickest speed kill I had on Grave Ward in a black market machine in like this entire month. This gun is crazy, guys. Definitely get this gun. It's so good. Enough hyping up. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. More in a cave with a torch on a wall than a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.